I never really was trying to sell Reservoir Dogs because at some point I had finally been able to sell True Romance for like the lowest amount of money they could legally pay me. But I could have actually made Reservoir Dogs in 16 millimeter with $30,000. So I kind of could make my movie. So I didn't have to fuck it up. I didn't have to compromise in any way. I mean, if you want to give me $1 million to make my movie, well then all great, but it's got to be the same movie because I can make this for $30,000 on 16. And you won't be in a warehouse. It'll be in a garage, but that'll all be good. All right. It won't star Harvey Keitel, all right, but it'll all be good. I'll be a filmmaker. I'm not a filmmaker now. Harvey Keitel is the one that kind of like gave me and Lawrence legitimacy. And how it happened, it was, it's like, if Harvey had have said yes to the movie and wanted to do it, I think we would have eventually got it made. But it would have been like the normal route of like taking a long time. Harvey has always been one of my favorite actors in the world, and like literally in a wish list, all right, of like whoever I could have be Mr. White. Harvey Keitel was always like number one on the list. So we were trying to get it to him, even though we had no legitimacy, no money, no nothing. Okay, just a script. Lawrence Bender was going to an acting class, and just anyone out there, this is kind of how it can work, all right. And it's like for as many things that can go bad, things can go good. Just like that line in True Romance. Things bad things happen. Well, that's the way it goes. But don't forget, it can go the other way too. Pendulum swings both ways. It might not seem like it sometimes, but eventually it will. And this is a guy talking pretty much through most of my 20s, had nothing but bad luck at all. My joke used to be from 19 to 28, all right, was 27 or something like that, was, if you wanted to send a letter to me, you could write it to Quentin Tarantino on the outskirts of the film industry. If you'd have sent it there, I'd have got it, because that's right where I was, all right, it's where I lived. Lawrence Bender was going to this one acting class, and his teacher was married to an actress named Lily Parker, who was a member of the Actors Studio in New York, who knew Harvey. Lawrence got it to his acting teacher in Los Angeles. His teacher read it and liked it, then sent it to New York to his wife, Lily Parker, who I don't know, Lawrence doesn't know. He knew her husband. Lily Parker read it and liked it and gave it to Harvey Keitel. So we're really liking Lily. 3 days later, Harvey Keitel called up Lawrence Bender. And we got on the phone with him, and he goes, yes, well, Quentin, I would love to do this movie. I think it's fantastic. And the script is it's quite amazing. And the dialogue, and just wonderful writer. So, but I want to be involved in it. I would like to be one of the producers on it and help you get in. You're the boss, but I think we can maybe help you get it made. At that time, Harvey Keitel saying he's going to be the star of your movie. It's not like all of a sudden doors flew open or anything like that. But he gave us legitimacy. We had no legitimacy. We were just a couple of guys out there trying to get a movie made like millions of other guys in Hollywood. The reality is, Richard Gladstein at Live, who is really the guy that put me in the position to make a movie. Now, Richard had the meeting with Lawrence and with Monty, not yet with me. So I was like the last guy for him to meet. So he was so gung-ho, and I'd heard he was so gung-ho, so it was kind of all mine to screw up almost. All right? And I had done a movie called My Best Friend's Birthday that it was never finished, and I just had like little clips of it, and I had had bad experience showing it and everything, So literally he was like, and she goes, so you've done a movie before? Well, I never finished it. And he goes, can I see some footage from it? No. And he's the reason, that waiting for that one yes that will make you a director when you have absolutely nothing to show for. All right? He was the one that said yes. All right? He wouldn't have even read the script if Harvey hadn't been attached. He'd just always been a fan of Harvey's, and oh, it could be really cool to make a movie with Harvey Keitel. Yes, I think I'll take that home tonight, as opposed to letting his reader read it, which he probably would have passed on it. All right? And he read it and loved it. And then that was the beginning of my life, basically, part 2. method of like, oh, this is my style and this is what I'm trying to do or anything like that. But it's just a mixture of, I guess, I'm always like a slight hesitant to try to explain certain things I do, because in doing that, not because I'm afraid of revealing stuff, but in trying to articulate it, I'm almost putting more of an onus on it than I really am at the time. You know what I mean? And I don't want to make it sound like it's really super thought out, but it is a kind of a combination of the fact that it's like, I mean, look, dialogue is the easiest thing in the world for me. I think my dialogue's pretty good, and because it comes so easy that it's almost, I almost feel like it's not really mine, almost, all right? It's like, if there is such a thing as a God's gift or anything, that's one of the gifts he gave me. And part of the thing in doing it is just getting characters to talk to each other. It's just like, I just get them talking to each other, and they're off. The characters are writing it. I'm like a stenographer. I'm like a court reporter. All right, I'm just, no, actually I don't type it, I write. All right, but I'm just writing it down. Taking genre characters and genre situations, all right, and giving them a real life spin. Have them sound like real people, like, you know, me and my friends and just other people, and make references that other people make, that movie characters don't necessarily make, all right? And talk about shit other than the plot, all right? You know, most of us don't talk about the plot in our lives, all right? We talk all around things, and we talk about bullshit, and we talk about things that interest us. Gangsters don't just talk about gangster plot related stuff and just polish their bullets, all right? And talk about this murder or that murder. They talk about songs on the radio, they talk about, you know, the chicken dinner they had last night, or they're having this moment and this girl, and well, sometimes in gangster movies they'll have them talk about a girl, but that's about it. They don't talk about just stuff. And people are people. In the course of that, one, it's funny. Two, it can be entertaining. Three, it's like kind of likable in a strange way, all right? It makes them seem human, all right? And it's also authentic. Rappers and cops and gangsters and real gangsters, you know, real criminals or gangbangers and everything said, no, man, Reservoir Dogs is it. That is it. There's no like melodrama attached to the scenes when they talk. They talk like real people. They talk about the shit that we talk about. All right. And then like the most outrageous stuff is the stuff that rings the most true. That's something I've learned from life. And I also kind of learned from, you know, Omar Leonard in his books. Would always show all these constant little monkey wrenches that just smacked true of life. Cops are chasing after characters running down the street. They commandeer a car, throw the person out, jump in the car, but it's a stick shift and they don't drive a stick. All right, that's real life. And it kind of fucks up the genre moment. All right, kind of fucks up the speediness of the film. All right, well, that's what I'm always trying to do. It's like, you know, the movie's really funny. I'm hearing laughs when I'm making my movie. That doesn't mean that it's like a comedy and everything is nothing serious and everything is just one big fucking joke. All right. You know, I think Pulp Fiction should be in the comedy section of a video store. All right. Reservoir Dogs should be in the comedy section. But I pride myself that if you tape an audience watching Reservoir Dogs, just tape the audience, that you would swear you were listening to an audience watching a comedy. My shit can cut your head off, but it's funnier at the same time than any other comedy playing in the theaters right now. But you know, and I'm totally not the only guy to do that. Taxi Driver, one of the most intense movies ever made, is absolutely fucking hysterical. I mean, just hysterical. If you were to tape an audience watching it, you would swear you're watching an audience watching a comedy. Carrie is hysterical. Jaws, for that matter. All right, again, people howl all through Jaws until you stop howling. I love fucking with an audience. I mean, I love taking them on a ride. They're not just watching a movie where images are glazing over them. I'm fucking with them. I'm giving them experience. They may appreciate the experience. They may not appreciate the experience. They're getting their $8 worth, or their $9 worth, or $11 worth, whatever the fuck it cost. All right, you know, they went to the motherfucking movies that night. All right, they had an experience. Now, she might not like it, and he might like it, and he might not like it, and she might like it. Oddly enough, it was kind of cool. Some of the strongest defenders of Reservoir Dogs were women. The women who got it. The women who got it would defend it against all comers. Women could get like ugly. All right, you know, like no, you don't understand. They were always like my strongest defender. I mean, the women that got it would take on all comers. It's like, no, you're wrong. You're completely wrong. You know, I couldn't have been happier with my cast. And then we all had a dinner at Harvey Keitel's house after everyone got cast, a little cast dinner. And it was the entire cast. Nobody really knew each other before this time. It was the whole cast and Lawrence, and me and Lawrence. And so we're all like having dinner and getting to know each other and talking and everything. And I'm just sitting at this table looking at everybody. And like Harvey, when he was in town, he'd always rented a house in Malibu, all right, on the beach. And I'm just looking around at all these terrific actors and all these great guys, you know, and I really didn't want it to be some, you know, Scorsese want to be Goodfellas, you know, Italian goomba shit, all right? And because these guys are not Goodfellas style gangsters. These guys are professional robbers. That's what they do. They're much closer in spirit to the Richard Stark character of Parker. All right, guys, that's what they do for a living, you know, and they're not all Italian, all come from fucking New York. All right, you know, this guy's from Kansas and this guy's from this. I wanted them all have different, you know, energies and stuff and different, you know, personalities. And they all had to work together as an ensemble. If Mr. Buscemi never met Mrs. Buscemi and little Steve was never born, then maybe 3 other actors might not be in the movie either. You know what I mean? You know, you can say, oh, we'll cast John Malkovich to play this role, and Dennis Hopper to play this role, and Judd Nelson to play this role, and Kevin Bacon to play this role, and won't it be great? All right, well, you know, maybe it will be great, but maybe it won't be. Not because all those guys aren't good, but because maybe it's not just like the right fit. They're not right fit of energies and personalities. All right, and by the way, everybody in Reservoir Dogs had a completely different acting style. All right, completely different method of working. Sitting at that table, I just realized, shit. If I keep this movie in focus, I've got a terrific movie. If I don't have a single solitary idea of how to shoot a given scene, which is shit you think about when you've never made a movie before. If I just shoot it like boring old television, it'll be dynamic. Because these guys are so great. I could put these fuckers in a white shirt up against a white wall, and I got a movie. I remember that night, you know, Harvey lived, like I said, way the fuck out in Malibu and PCH, and I lived like in Glendale, all right? And I remember taking Sunset the long way around, Sunset from Malibu to Glendale. And I was a little drunk, all right, because we were drinking, not like smashed, but just drinking wine, you know, something like, all right, you know, in a little wonderful wine world, all right, not ridiculously dangerous, but like, you know, just a little buzzed. And I wanted that long drive because I was maybe the happiest I'd ever been in my life. I had just had dinner with my actors for my movie, and I just knew it was just going to be great. And I just took this long drive and just thought about how great life was. Just at that moment, it just couldn't have been better. I was living my dream, and my dream was going to be great.